Hey y'all, welcome to Girl Meets Green. My name is Norma, your host or whatever. I'm attempting to film this at my in-laws house while I'm doing laundry, so if the lighting's off, if anything looks weird, forgive me. Let's please ignore the eyebrows, and if there's anything going on with this eye, it's been watering for like 2 days straight. It's dry, it's raw, it's just all bad right now. Anyways, y'all don't really care about that, do you? As you can see by the title, we're talking Ultimatum Queer Love. Let's start off with who our couples were. So we have Mildred and Tiff. And Tiff met Mildred by using a hashtag on IG. I think it was like hashtag lesbian Latina. I have a napkin here for my watering eye, so I apologize in advance. Mildred and Tiff are on and off. So Mildred gave the ultimatum. Tiff is hesitant because they're on and off. So she's like, is this a relationship we should continue? Then we have Yoli and Mal. Yoli issued the ultimatum. Mal is insecure because Yoli speaks very highly of her previous partners and like what she wants in marriage. And so it's hard for her to feel different, or like, you know, like basically she's kind of just like, what's so different about me that you want to marry me? Or is it that you just want to marry somebody, you know? So that's what she's feeling. Also, Yoli mentions that Mal wants to have like financial security, the house, the savings, the, you know, blah blah blah, before marriage and kids. Now in a traditional relationship, oftentimes that is an excuse, right? Because that's something you can build together. And even in a lesbian relationship or a queer relationship, you can build that together. But I do see where Mal is coming from, because there's so much more to consider in a relationship like theirs. In vitro, surrogacy, like there are a lot more expenses there. But honestly, I think the key for them is just Mal not feeling special or fully secure and loved by Yoli. We have Sam and Ozzy, who aren't, I gotta be real, I'm like, they don't need to be here. Like, they have a good relationship. I think Sam just needs to realize that like Ozzy has commitment issues that she needs to figure out, and you either want to stay with her until she decides she does or not. Because baby, listen, Ozzy is 42, y'all. 42, and I think Sam is 30 something. But Ozzy is 42 talking about, I need 5 years to see if I'll marry a person. Not in 5 years I'll marry you. In 5 years I'll be able to think about marrying you. You're gonna be 47 while you're thinking. And then like, girl, we gonna be married at you 50? Nah. We have Rey and Lexi, and they seem like a fairly normal couple. I just think that they are in different places of their lives. I think if they were in the same place, they could make sense. I think Lexi is like solidified, ready for the future, to like take on the future. I think Rey is still more in the beginning stage of life, where she's still kind of trying to figure out the things she wants, what she wants her life to look like, etc., etc. And so in their situation, it's basically just like, Lexi, are you willing to wait while she figures that out to then see if she feels like you're the person she wants to do those future steps with? So that's the tough part. Lastly, we have Xander and Vanessa, and baby, the endless red flags and runaways moments that we see. Can't imagine how many Xander's seen. But basically, Vanessa don't want to be married. For whatever reason though, she doesn't want to not be with Xander, but she doesn't want to lose her freedom and wants to be able to go live life and have fun. She, at one point, she refers to their relationship as, and this experiment, as freedom after a long bit in jail. She compared being with Xander to being in jail. Like, and Xander out here defending the girl. Xander, baby, wake up. I hope she is awake by the end of this, honey. So one thing I noticed off the bat, all the couples come together. Joanna, whatever the heck the host name is, comes to introduce herself in the experiment. And Vanessa is like flirting with Mal right then and there, right? Like, oh, my future wife. Like, oh, can't wait to live with you. Like, little jabs. And I don't know if it was just because, I think it was because Yoli and her didn't get along, like off rip. But girl, just wait till tomorrow. Just one day. I personally think she was just trying to mess with Yoli, because she doesn't even end up giving like Mal the time of day. What cracks me up is there's a scene with Vanessa and Xander when everybody's about to like go their separate ways. Of Vanessa like basically telling Xander she wants her to go all in with this experiment. She wants her to like fully immerse herself in it, yada yada. Because you know Xander's like, I think we should just go home. Like, let's just go home and get married. And she's just like, no, like they won't be in the same place. Like, just, you know, actually try to like someone, blah blah blah. Which the foreshadowing is chef's kiss, baby. We'll get to it, but I had to point that out. So put that in the back of your head to pull out later. Vanessa's also comedy because when they start going on dates, she's talking about like, it's so crazy how I'm connecting with everyone. And it's like, no, you're not. Baby, no, you're not. A lot of these people can see right through you. We have Lexi and Mal connecting. They're connecting because they kind of have the same insecurities with their partners and they want the same things. They're both insecure and want to feel wanted, chosen, and loved by their partners. And funny thing is though, Xander and Yoli are feeling the same way, and Yoli is Mal's partner. All four of these people are basically struggling to feel like wanted, loved, etc. Vanessa is trying to present that typical like festival, you know, I'm a mermaid girl, like just like I'm just having fun and la la la, and I'm so like free spirited and everyone loves me, everyone's attracted to me, and it's like, no. She's also just so like vindictive and weird. Like she's talking about how she doesn't, it feels weird to be a homewrecker for Rey and Lexi, but she's fully enjoying it. She's smiling the whole time. And something I noticed throughout this all is anytime anything negative is happening, Shorty is in the background smiling. My favorite conversation of episode 1 through 4 is when Mal asks Lexi if she's been with a black partner. And Lexi's like, no, but that was not the first thing I thought about. Like she was kind of like, good point, but wasn't on my mind, you know? Like I was actually thinking about you being masculine and how I've never found myself attracted to someone masculine, but like here we are. Which is so interesting, so funny that like she hadn't even crossed her mind that the person was black, especially when she's never dated a black person. But like the masculine piece. But what I find interesting is like how she said she's never really been attracted to masculine, but like looking at her and Mal, it just makes sense. Also looking at like what Lexi wants in a partner, oftentimes is, not oftentimes, but it is more masculine energy. I'm not saying toxic masculinity, some guy who's a guy's guy, just like anyone who has those like quote unquote masculine traits, you know, like a little bit of dominance, a little bit of like assertiveness, security, like those things. So it's funny that she's never been with someone, but I think Mal will definitely open her eyes to that. Which we're gonna talk more about them, but like I'm digging it. Ew, digging it? I like it. We have Mildred, who is talking to Ozzy and they're really getting along. She's helping Ozzy come to a lot of realizations really quickly, and that's affecting her because she's starting to kind of feel like, why is it so hard for my partner to reach certain points emotionally with me, but this person, it's like happening so quickly. Xander is talking to Yoli and we find out that Vanessa wants them each to have a kid and each kid is theirs in their relationship, which weird. I see why, because like she doesn't want to be married, she doesn't really want commitment. So it's like if we had one kid or if the kids were both ours, then there's like fighting for the kids if we ever split, blah blah blah. But that's no way to think when you're starting a family, especially if you're trying to start it with someone and not by yourself. As this conversation happens, we're also seeing a date between Vanessa and Lexi, where Vanessa essentially is like, oh, Xander said that like without me she'd probably be asexual, like she can't see herself being attracted or wanting to be with anyone but me. And essentially that's what kind of like helps Lexi pinpoint this thing, because Lexi has been interested in Vanessa but has been like, something is also like telling me no. And I think that clicked for her, where she was like, okay, so you don't think your partner's gonna like anyone here, so you are not losing anything. Like you're not here for the right reasons. You're not fully doing this experiment like for what it's for, because if you know you're not gonna lose her, you know you don't want marriage and that you're not trying to get serious about anyone else here, why are you here? After this, Lexi tries to warn Rey, her former partner, I feel like the editing and the way they're presenting it is trying to make it seem like she's jealous or like she just wants Rey. And by episode 4, I was like, maybe there was a little bit of that, but I don't think that that was her sole motive or like her main motive. Like, I genuinely think she was trying to protect Rey. And in the way she speaks about Rey and like in speaking to Vanessa, where she's like, you know, I take care of my partner, like I'm the one doing it all. I realized that it was that instinct of like, I need to protect this person. I take care of this person. I, you know, like make the tough decisions for this person. I help this person see what the right decision is. Because she really felt this like strong need to make Rey see Vanessa for who she was. Which she didn't, baby. That girl, she was legally blind, okay? Let's get into Vanessa and Xander. We're gonna address all this foreshadowing stuff I was talking about. So, at this whole situation where everybody's talking to their partners and it's the end of the week of searching, Vanessa is talking to Xander and she's like, so like, is there anyone you're into? Like, and I think she was caught fully off guard because she thought Xander was gonna be like, no, I really still want to be with you. I just want to go home with you. And she was like, you know, actually Yoli. And Vanessa's like, she's not very nice to me. She doesn't really like me. And basically she's like, because she's not nice to me, I can't believe that you would choose her. Like, I don't even want to talk to you if you're choosing her. And Xander's like, that's not fair. Like, I've only seen one interaction with you guys. Like, she's like, and it's not fair to me. Like, I'm just doing the experiment like you said to do. I genuinely think she thought that they were safe, that she's so awesome. Because when Lexi asked her, her first comment was kind of like, I'm beautiful. You know, like, she's not going to want anyone else. And so now it's like, ooh. Because she's like, all my ex-boyfriends have wanted to marry me, blah, blah, blah. So we get into the big dinner where everybody chooses who they want this trial marriage to be with, and it cracks me up. Xander's asked first, and so Xander's talking about like how she had some interest in Rey and then moves on to Yoli or whatever. She says Rey was a lot like one of her exes and describes why, and then Vanessa's just like, really? Which ex? Tractor girl? Wow, I didn't know about this. And it's like, are you good? Are you good? Chill. Calm down. Aggressive. And then basically we watch her mouthing fuck off to Xander from across the table, just like repeatedly. And you're like, are you okay? What's going on here? And so when Lexi kind of starts talking shit about Vanessa, like saying like, I see you for who you really are, whoopty whoopty woo. Mildred kind of jumps in and she's like, yeah, and you've been telling Xander to fuck off this whole day. And it's hurting everyone but you. It's hurting him. And then Vanessa's like, it's hurting who? Like, girl. And she's like, everyone but you. And then, you know, Xander comes to her defense. And she's like, I'm the only person who understands her. So, like, just leave her alone. Which, like, listen, guys, if people are telling you that you are being treated negatively or badly, and your response is like, you just don't know this person like I do, you don't know that person like you should, okay? Like, if everyone can see that you're being treated badly, open your eyes a little bit, okay? And that whole, a lot of the times people who say that have been convinced by their partner that that's the case. You know me so much better. No one understands me. Everyone thinks I'm mean. Everyone thinks I don't know how to treat people, because you don't. Okay, so word of advice to people who have those type of partners, if everyone feels that way, it's probably because it's true. Pay attention. So our new couples are Rey and Vanessa, Mal and Lexi, Yoli and Xander, Ozzy and Mildred, and Sam and Tiff. So dinner ends, everyone leaves with their respective new partners. We see Lexi, so we get to see everyone kind of interacting that night, and Lexi and Mal are just a vibe. Like, obviously things could change in the next 4 episodes, but I really hope that they get together. Like, right now, like, they just make sense. And the nice thing is, which Lexi mentions, like, kind of, but it's not just this like, I'm just really, really physically into this person, and they're like staring at each other and lip biting and like, ooh, you know, like, it was very like natural. Their conversations were like really clicking, where like they like balance each other out in terms of what they want in a relationship. It was really easy for them to see like themselves with this person long term, which is the whole point of the whole trial marriage. It's not to like get to know each other, and you know, so that's one thing I like, is they're taking it seriously and they're actually like approaching it in the way they're supposed to, where it's like this is supposed to be a trial marriage, which literally means you're married, like you're pretending to be married to see like what it'll be like. And so I really like that they just make sense. They do. And like I think Mal really helps Lexi, like because like I mentioned earlier, she has those masculine traits of like assertiveness, security, a little bit of like being dominating, where she's like telling her how she feels openly. She's also like making it known that, you know, you're attractive, I enjoy you, I am seeing these things in you. Like she tells her like, I can see us getting engaged at the end of this. And she's like, wait, you know, like Lexi was like, wait, what? You know, like and I think that was so good for Lexi, because I think she really just wanted to feel that somebody saw her for who she was and the good partner that she can be, and want that. Okay, we have Tiff and Sam, and this turns into a whole freaking thing, okay? Sam does not want Tiff's dog sleeping in the bed with them. And Tiff is just like, you need to love my dog if you're gonna love me. And she's in her confessional talking about, I don't care how pretty you are, how blah, blah, blah. If you like my dog, you can fuck off. Girl, she didn't say she didn't like your dog. She said she doesn't want it sleeping in the bed. Like, girl, and when I tell you this girl was like offended, she was offended. She was just like not having this. She needed to chill. But the nice thing is this helps her learn communication. And seeing that Sam was a little less reactive, that Sam was willing to like talk about it after, made her realize like it doesn't have to be that volatile. And in the previews we can see that she's learning from that, because when Mildred tries to get spicy with her she's like, it has nothing to do with being a certain race, like you need to be able to communicate, blah blah. So it seems like she learned a lot in her time with Sam. We have Rey and Vanessa, and honestly, Vanessa just wants to fuck, okay? I feel like there's two reasons Vanessa came, and it could be both. One is to be famous, because she mentions Instagram, Lexi can see it, we all could see it. Two was just to fuck around, like a hall pass. You know, like, ooh, we get on the show, I get a hall pass, I get to have sex with some other chick while maintaining my relationship with Xander. It could be both, could be one, but I don't think she's there for what everybody else is there for. And then Rey just seems so uncomfy. So uncomfy. Because like Vanessa's also very pressuring. Like, yes, we have to take responsibility for ourselves. We have to learn to say, you know, I don't want that. This is uncomfortable or whatever. But also we have to be able to read cues. And I feel like Vanessa could not like see how uncomfortable. First of all, the first thing they do like the next day is go to get her nipples pierced. And that's weird, because that's like just trying to like look at my body, trying to sexualize things to get her there. Also, like I mentioned about Vanessa being vindictive, she chose Rey to piss off Lexi. One, she tried to like when they're talking about who they connected with and why, she tries to like point out Mal, and she's like, me and you really, like, I just think you're so, she's like saying all these wonderful buzzwords about how wonderful Mal is. And then Mal's like, we had one interaction. But literally, like, she's trying to like love bomb people, she's trying to use people, so she's pissed that like Xander's into Yoli, so it's like, I'm gonna act like I'm so into Mal. But you're not choosing her. Like she said, you had one interaction. Stop. Like, stop. You're not fooling nobody. So it's all very vindictive. And I don't know how Rey doesn't see it, because she's not shy about it. She's not secretive about it. She's not slick about it. I guess she must have told Rey she wanted a picture of Rey with her boobs out, pierced. And so Rey's like, oh, should we take the picture now? She takes a picture and she's like, ooh, we should send it to Lexi. She'd love this. And Rey, like, that's not weird to you. I'd be like, okay, look, like, I get it, but like, we're supposed to be in this experience. And going back to Lexi being concerned about Rey, this also made me realize something about that, is that I think Lexi saw what was happening. I think Lexi, she's the one who gave the ultimatum. So I think she brought Rey into this almost to kind of be like, get into a trial marriage with someone else so you can see if it's me you really want to be with, like you want to marry, or if somebody else is able to make you feel like you could marry them or want to. So essentially it's like, you know, like let's break up, go date, go figure out, see if I really am what you want. I think that's what Lexi wanted to do, was like she felt like if she really does this experiment, Rey, if she does it the right way, intentionally, she could figure out whether she wants Lexi or if Lexi should move on. And so I think that that's where that comes in. Not only her protectiveness of her, but her also feeling like she did not pick someone to like actually do the experiment with, someone that was there for the right reasons. And so she's just like, so this is for nothing. You're just gonna be hanging out with someone else, like, versus trying to figure out if we make sense, you know, which is exactly what happens. Vanessa ends up fingering Rey. Rey is so fucking like messed up about it that she like calls Lexi and tells her, and it's this huge thing. And you can see how uncomfortable Rey was with the fact that that happened. That's why consent is so important, because like, you're weird if you would ever want to feel like you coerced someone into something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's a lot of people that would want to like wake up the next day and visibly see that this person is regretting what happened, or this person is like, I really just didn't even want this to happen in the first place. But because you were, you know, showing your boobs here and there and hugging them and being like, come in the water in your bikini with me, and like doing undercover sexual things to get them to think that they want to go there with you, you don't want that. And if you do, like, you really should talk to someone and figure out why you think that way, because that's terrible. Like, why would you want to have done something with someone, not because they wanted to do it with you, but because you tricked them into it, or you convinced them that that's what they wanted? So Ozzy takes Mildred on a like dinner date and meets a friend of hers. Like, Mildred meets a friend of Ozzy's, and this is where, so Mildred was under the impression that Ozzy was like, I would marry you, I could see myself marrying you, let's try this. Whereas I think Ozzy, when she made the comments about like, you know what, she came in not sure even if she wanted marriage for sure. But she ends up telling Mildred, like, you know, I do want marriage. Like, she comes to that revelation. And I think Mildred misinterpreted that as like, it could be with you, like, now that I'm here. So this friend comes and is basically like, you know, you have commitment issues, da-da-da. And I think this shifted things for Mildred, where I think Mildred saw potentially like, oh, it doesn't have to be Tiff. I could be with someone else. Like, I could marry someone else. And so then when she realized that Ozzy wasn't there, it was like, you know, I think she kind of felt like her time was being wasted, or like, oh, this isn't even going to go anywhere because she's also unsure of marriage, you know, like, it's the same as my other partner. And so things get rocky. Ozzy claims that she's trying to make Ozzy look bad on camera and that she's very different off camera. Yoli and Xander are vibing. I'm a little bit worried that it's too much about the physical. Because I see a lot of, which that is great. You want, and I think that was the thing with them, was they both wanted a partner who was like, I'm obsessed with you. Like, you're hot. Like, they wanted a partner that like made them feel wanted, like obsessed. Like, I want to be with you. And both of them wanting that, I think they approached this as like, okay, so let's give that to each other. Like, let's see if that can work. So I'm a little bit worried that it's like too much about the physical. But they're enjoying themselves, baby. The moaning that Netflix played, I'm sorry. Like, are we on Netflix After Dark? Because that little beginning scene with Mildred and Tiff was like spicy. I hate that. I hate using that word in those terms. But that was a bit much. And then like the moaning with the night camera, stop it. Stop it. One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the situation with Vanessa and Rey and the fingering and how Lexi was feeling about it. So obviously Rey reaches out to Lexi, and so Lexi's like just hurt, like messed up about it. And I really liked how Mal comforted her, because I think I said this with the last season of Ultimatum, where it's like, people have to also be understanding, like, yeah, you're broken up and like, you know, you're supposed to be experimenting with a new partner. The whole reason they're there is because, as far as they know, they want to marry their current partner. So like, as their new trial partner or whatever, you have to be considerate of that. And like, obviously they're still going to be hurt. Like, that's still technically their person. And I really enjoyed that Mal balance, saying like, you know, selfishly, I'm like, they're kind of ruining our shit. Like, but she's there for her. She's like, I totally get it, and I'm here for you. And I love that even in that situation, they were able to still bring it back to like, no, because we're here to like be that for each other. So even though it was about her ex, Mouse was able to show her like, but I'm here for you. I'm going to show up for you. Like, whatever you need emotionally, whatever you need physically, like whatever. And again, I'm just obsessed with them. This is the one couple that I am like, they make sense and like they should end up together from what we're seeing so far. So it ends with Lexi and Vanessa's confrontation. Basically, Lexi is just like, you're messing with a person rather than letting them have the experience of this experiment, which I fully understood, because it's like I said earlier, it's just like Vanessa's just trying to fuck. And so Lexi's really protective of Rey and is feeling like she's just using Rey's naivety, or like she's using the fact that Rey for whatever reason is still into her and can't see what everyone else can see, and so she's protective of her because she's like, you're taking advantage of the fact that this person isn't sure of themselves or like what they want or what they're supposed to be doing. But yeah, so that's how it ends. I am so interested to like see where this goes. Like I said, I am rooting for Mal and Lexi. Like, they just make sense and I want them together so bad. I could also see Yoli and Xander, but like I said, my concern is that it is very physical. As for the other couples, no. All of those other couples, they need to leave their their new partners and their old partners. That group just needs to go start over, because like, absolutely not. But anyways, hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Comment down below, is there a couple that you're like obsessed with, or is there a couple that you're like run away? Like, what are your thoughts on what's going on so far? Subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one.